Hello again everyone, this is Zombie Kids Rule and I'm back with another Steam Deck gameplay video. I'll throw my caveat out there. Yes, if you've watched my other videos, maybe you've heard this a couple times now because I just started doing it. Yes, I know this is not the best way to record these videos. I know it's not the easiest way to see the screen. And like as I said before, trust me, I have tried all other options short of buying a capture card and figuring out how to use that. Maybe I'll investigate that at some time in the future, but I'm just making these videos with what I have to try to be helpful. And if it helps folks, great. If it doesn't, well, that's okay too. I'm doing these because I enjoy doing them, and I'm trying to give back and trying to help. So yes, I know this is not ideal the way to do it, but as I've said in other videos, I can't record these the same way I record videos on my 1X player. Hopefully, Valve will come up with a way to make it easy to record from gaming mode. Haven't seen that yet. So this next video is a full game called The Labyrinth. I've had this in my library for quite a while. I just checked it out a few minutes ago, and this looks like a fun game. This looks a game that is right up my alley. It's not fancy as far as graphics go, but this looks pretty cool. It is unknown right now. It is a text-based dungeon crawler with heavy emphasis on combat and looting. Has 16 playable classes, 40 enemy classes, etc., etc. It's from January 2021. It is from Alexander Spillman, and the store page, again, The Labyrinth, a text-based dungeon crawler. There is a demo too. I don't think this is the demo. I think I own this. I'm pretty sure I do, but it looks like there's a demo that you can download. It is positive 90% of all time. Only 20 reviews though. Labyrinth is already in my library, so yes, I own the Labyrinth. But you can also You can also download a demo if you want to. Like I said, I just checked this out. It seems to play perfectly fine on the Steam Deck, I think it's going to be fun. Quite frankly, I'm very interested in what I've seen so far. So there is some music in the background, but as I've said in my other videos, I don't tend to have the sound up really much at all. Play, load, game stats, game guide, options, credits, and exit. So options, we have music volume, effect volume, combat volume, background brightness, so you can actually move the brightness up and down in the background. Auto full screen I have turned on, but you can toggle. Window scaling, show all game resizes as the window is scaled. I turned that on. Font type, sans serif, simpler but maybe easier to read. Changing font type requires a restart. I will say I did change the font to the simpler version, not the fancy version. And then, of course, reset to default, back without saving, back with saving. Actually, I didn't check these out yet when I was testing it. Gameplay. Tutorials enabled. Yes, I want tutorials. Reset tutorials. Yes, I'm going to reset the tutorials. Auto stat points disabled. If enabled, your stats get automatically incremented when you gain stat points. So if you don't want to have to think about your character development. Auto spell points disabled. Again, if you don't want to think about the spell stuff. Combat particles are set to max. Combat action speed is normal. Combat sound delay is normal. You can go up and down. Combat key binding. So there's a lot of keys here. But what I'll say is when I tested it, I used nothing but the in-game mouse pointer and the right trigger, and it worked perfectly fine. So sure, if you wanted to make sure that some of these were mapped, if it made your life easier, in the game, if it made combat faster, I think the tutorial even says that maybe doing certain key bindings or something will make the game go faster. Yeah, sure, go ahead if you want to. I did not, because I typically, with mouse games, I typically just play with the mouse, and I ignore the keyboard. So, but that's just me. So I didn't change anything. Maybe I did. Back with saving, doesn't matter. So game guide. Now this is cool. I'm not going to go through all this, but essentially you can search the game guide for help. You can click a category, and then as you click a category, it goes subcategory, subcategory, subcategory. So with combat, it tells you a little bit about combat, and then you can click damage, status, effect, or go back. Damage. Now it gives you a bunch of more stuff. Defense stat, damage stat, Pyrrhus, attack damage, spell damage, divine damage. You click on defense stat. Okay, it doesn't go further than that, but again, you can drill down into different categories. You know, and then same thing with characters, right? It tells you you need, you know, things about stats versus spells. So I click on stats. Now there's main stats, attention, life steal, soul steal, spell steal, spirit steal, stat points, spell points. These are all things you can read about. And then classes, same way. You've got playable classes, enemy and boss classes. Playable classes. You've got 4 overarching classes: warriors, mages, rogues, and archers. And then there's 4 within those. So within the warrior, there's berserker, templar, dragon slayer, knight. And when you click on them, they tell you more about it, and it tells you things about their different abilities. And as you hover over them, it gives you all of the information as you hover over the beginning, and then you upgrade it, and all these different things. So that's awesome. I love when games do that. And then again, there's 4 of each one of these. So that's basically the what did they call that? That was the game guide, right? So this game has an awesome guide. That's great. And when you hover over stuff, it tells you information about it, and that's awesome too. So I'm going to go ahead and start a new game. Hopefully, I'm going to restart over that one. And then when you have a run type, you can do custom. Fully customize each character in your party. Quick start. Start with a semi-random party, 1 of each main class and 1 character guaranteed to be healer. Beginner start. Start with a party of simpler character classes and with a recommended ability automatically unlocked. And so I'll just show custom first because I can back out. So it says heroes gathered from around the world to show you what they're capable of. You only have supplies for 4 party members. Choose your class and optionally reallocate up to 10 stat points. Before you can continue, choose a class for player. Currently choosing choose a class for player. Currently choosing for player, and then you have to pick a name. And when you do that, you're going to use the Steam X button. We're going to see that anyway, so I'll do that later. If I choose warrior, right, then I have to pick between Templar, Dragon Slayer, Knight, or Berserker. And as I hover over them now, they tell me more about that class. I'm just going to click, say, Knight this time. I did Templar last time. And then it says reallocate points. So you don't have any because they allocated it for you. But in theory, I could subtract some and move them around. So Constitution, Intelligence, Dexterity, Swiftness, and Luck is the points I can. Well, I can't do anything with Luck, but I can do things with Constitution, Intelligence, Dexterity, and Swiftness. And then your starting stats: max health, max mana, accuracy, quickness, critical chance, bonus damage, bonus defense. And there's a lot more than that. And that's how you would create a character. You give it a name, select a class, select a subclass, reallocate your points if you want to, and that would be pretty much it. Now, I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to go back here to play. I'm going to go back to my thing. I'm going to go to the beginner start, and then it wants me to name the players. It's a little hard to see on the white background on the video, but what I'm going to do is click in the box, Steam X, and whoops. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. It already pulled it up for me. That's right. I'm just going to name these A, B, C, and D. So I go to this box. I click, and then it automatically pulls up my keyboard, which is cool. So the game does that automatically. And then I'll just name this one B, enter, and then go to this one, and then it pulled it up for me. I have to backspace. If I don't backspace on these ones, it will just put it at the end. So, and then this one it pulls it up for me, and I backspace, and I name this one D. Okay, enter. And then that's it. So I set my names, click next. Then I have a choice: easy for difficulty, easy, normal, hard, nightmare. Okay, you know, for instance, nightmare. Heal rooms are much less frequent, and many enemies spawn per combat, but golden experience gain is increased by 100%. Versus easy. Heal rooms are frequent and less enemies spawn per combat, but golden experience gain is reduced by 35%. Normal. Heal rooms and enemies spawn normally, and golden experience gain is not altered. I'm just going to click normal. And then I have a choice. Select seed and run length. So in theory, I guess I could change the seed, but I don't know how that works. I can choose a short run, 5 floors, experience gained plus 80%. Medium, 12 floors, experience gained 50%. Long, 40 floors, experience gained is unchanged. Labyrinth, 100 floors, experience gained negative 35%. So, you know, that's, you get less experience for doing more floors. I'm just going to pick medium. So here it confirms selection. Type, beginner start. Difficulty, normal. Seed, it gives the seed. I'm assuming that's what sets the maps, I'm assuming. Length, 12 rooms. So it said floors, but this is rooms. Start game, so I'm going to click that. And then it goes through the tutorial. Okay, so it's just going to walk you through a tutorial, which is pretty good. I will say the tutorial text is small, but it's not unreadable. So it is small. You wouldn't have to read, you wouldn't have to use the magnifier. And then it just tells you about how you go through. It's a good tutorial. It really is. I'm just clicking on the next in the little window. It's taking me through all of my different options. And okay, so that's the tutorial part here. And then this is your room interface when you're in a room. So I'm on current floor 1, rooms left 10. Options take me back to those options I had in the beginning. Back to menu, you know, lets me get out. I have 0 gold. Down here is my open inventory. It gives me another tutorial. So I'm just going to click through that tutorial. But I will say, developer, I appreciate the tutorial and the way it's set up. You would want to read this because it is important. And so now I have inventory, and it's my character, A, B, C, and D. I can use the little arrow to scroll between my party members. Okay. Let's see. This is what they currently have. So they have a weapon, they have armor, and they have an offhand. And then this is down here the inventory, and it will add pages as necessary. Down here at the bottom, the tutorial said you can sort. So you can sort by rarity, character, level, value, weapons, armor, offhands, empty. And I will say this text is a little bit harder to read. It's smaller, but you can read it. It's not as, you know, it's not as large as the regular game text. And then you have this destroy. Common, uncommon, rare, legendary, mythical. And basically what that allows you to do is you can individually select an item to destroy it and get gold, or you can destroy everything of that type and get gold for it. Then you have your spell list and your character list that you can access down here, but I'm going to click the X to close. Down here is your stats, open statistics. And again, it's going to show me my tutorial to let me know what's going on. And I read this the first time, so you would want to read it if you were playing it. And now, so for my character A, right, it gives me a bunch of statistics. And so like stat points, 0, constitution, intelligence, dexterity, swiftness, luck. My class, my main class, my subclass, level, experience, health, mana, accuracy. Gold, battle veils, gold multiplier, experience multiplier, difficulty, run length, seed. And then if I go to the next page, it gives me a bunch more stats. Quickness, critical chance, health regen, mana regen, bonus damage, bonus defense, total defense, defense reduction, instant kill, debuff resistance, mana reduction, cooldown reduction, lifesteal. And then there's more. Soul steal, spell steal, spirit steal, pierce, and then attention. So there's a ton of stats in this game that are being used. And on any page, I can scroll from character to character to read about them. All right. So then I click X, and then this is my spells, open spells. Again, gives you a tutorial, goes through it. It's a good tutorial to read. I'm just getting through it here. And essentially, so for instance, my character D, Herbalist here, I have 0 spell points because it's already done for me. I have Herbal Remedy at level 1. It says costs 50 mana, cooldown 5 turns, heals a party member by 15% maximum health, and grants plus 10% health regen for 3 turns. That's what that character was defaulted to. And then go back here. This Marauder has a Laceration. This is similar to the game I tested. Burst Heal versus attacking. So I would make my own character. Obviously I would make my own party. And then my Knight has Fortress. Active 50 mana points, cooldown 5 turns. For 2 turns, grants untargetable to your allies and grants you a plus 50% debuff resistance. So again, there's a lot of different skills, or whatever you want to call them in this game. This text again in here is small, but it's not unreadable. I would not have to use the magnifier. And then this takes me to my map. But it cautions you in the tutorial, read the room carefully. So your journey begins here. As you enter this room, you feel a slight weight on your shoulders, unlike you've ever felt before. Something about this dungeon has attached to you. You hear a low rumble behind you and notice the entrance has sealed off. The only way now is forward. Now this was the same text in my first game that I started earlier, just to test it out. I move forward. Now, so this looks like the mechanism where you choose which path to go along, and sometimes when you get a certain way, you can move from path to path, but you can't go backwards. Now, I will say one thing. This may be in the tutorial or the game reference, I would say. I did play another game where on this screen itself, there was a legend that tells you what these things are. I figured that this was attack or account combat, and this was like an event or something, an unknown event. So I'm just going to go ahead and click the event, the question mark. So I have 4 paths I can follow. I'm going to pick this one, but you can't go backwards. Once you move forward, you can't go backwards. So let's see. So rooms left 9. The next room is seemingly endless in width and pitch black, except for 3 brightly glowing pedestals in the center. Suspended from each pedestal is an item, and with nothing else strange about the room, you determine them safe to acquire. Leaving the room with unclaimed items will yield 5 gold. So here are the treasure, right? You hover over them, and it pulls up a menu. I'll turn it a little bit so you can see that there's text there. And what it is on the left is the treasure, and on the right of that same window that opens is what you have equipped. So you get to compare right there whether or not you want to take it. So this treasure is a splintwood longbow, versus a chipped iron bastard sword. So and of course it's not comparable because in this instance because there's a restriction on this treasure of an archer, and the one it's comparing it to is a warrior. So let's see, who was my archer? I don't know who my archer is. B. Nope, that's mage. C, do I have archer? Rogue. And D is, click on my D down here. And yes, that's an archer. So now I can compare them, and so the treasure is that splitwood longbow versus the equipped scuffed pine longbow. Now the damage of the treasure 6 to 11. The damage of what I have equipped is 7 to 13. Well, so what I have equipped is better. Restriction is archer, level 1, type 2-handed. Value of the treasure is 2 gold versus equipped of 5 gold. So I don't want to pick this up. I don't want this treasure. Next one is for warrior. So I'm going to go click on my A, and so I'm going to compare. Cracked obsidian plate mail, that's the treasure. Equipped golden scale mail. Well, the defense is better of what I have, and so no, this treasure isn't worth taking. And then this next one is an archer restriction. So I will say that this seems random. Last time when I played through the first time, it was, or when I tested it, it was warrior, rogue, and then rogue archer for an item. So let's see. I clicked on D, right? And this is restriction archer. So treasure, chipped golden concentrating talisman. plus 1.17% party accuracy, restriction archer, it's offhand. So I don't have anything to compare it to because they're not carrying anything. So I'm going to take this one thing, and then I'm going to leave the other two because they're not worth taking. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my inventory, and I'm on D right now, which is my archer. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to figure out how to do it. You cannot equip an offhand while already equipped with a two. Interesting. So he can't use it. That makes sense. He can't use it since he has a two-handed bow. Interesting. But that's okay. So I'm gonna that's fine. All right. So I'm gonna leave the rest. Hopefully I'll get some gold. So gold is 0 right now. So let's click. And so I can only move forward. I can't go backwards. So I'm going to go to the event again. This next room is small, dark, and seemingly contains no threat. Cold chills run down your party spines, making you uneasy. It's probably best to quickly move on. I will say that I saw this description in the other game that I tested. So now there's a combat one. So I'm going to pick combat just so we can see that, and then I'll be done. The next room is dark, cold and dark. A singular enemy creeps out of the shadows, blocking your path. This should be just a minor setback. Very similar language that I saw in the other game I tested. So inventory, stats, open spells, and start. I'm going to click Start Combat. Now it gives me a tutorial again, and it's a pretty lengthy tutorial. It tells me all about the different parts of combat, how it works. And what I'll do is I'll just do this very... I'll explain it very quickly without reading the tutorial, but it is a pretty good tutorial. So on the left is your list of characters. On the right is the enemies. The turn order is up here, so it gives you the names and the So I'm fighting a shield wall. There's a log over here that will list what happens. So when you attack, how much damage you do, that sort of thing. Whoever is in yellow, the name in yellow means that's the current one, and there's a white box around it. The tutorial does give other information about other things, like a red box meaning you're dead, red name meaning you're dead, that sort of thing. Gray versus light gray versus dark gray. So there is important stuff in the tutorial to read. Your spell list is down here. Your items of the character selected are down here. Options and quitting down here. This shows you your character's active or passive and optional skills, and then it gives you all of their statistics from their character thing, which is cool because you can and then you have buffs and then debuffs, so it'll tell you can look up if you've been buffed and debuffed, passive effects, and back to statistics. So it gives you all that information, and then it took me a minute to figure out, but what you do down here is, this is my archer, and it automatically says attack, 20 to 26 damage here, or I could click on the active skill. So I click the attack, and then it says choose attack target, click to cancel. So I could click here to cancel it, or this turns into like a scope type icon. So I'm going to again, I'm using my right trigger. Click on him, and I did damage. So I did negative 19, and over here it says D-attack shield wall. D dealt 19 attack damage to shield wall. And then it moved up to white mage. So white mage, I don't want to do burst heal. I can just do attack 23 to 30. Click on him as an attack. And again, it said negative 26 over here, but then it also says it over here in my log. So now whose turn? My marauder. So I can do laceration. I'm going to do that. Deals 15 to 20 attack damage and bleeds by 25% for 2 turns. So I'm going to click laceration. Choose laceration target. So I click on him, and negative 16, and it tells me the running log over there. So now my knight is going to use attack and just go there. All right. Now he gets to attack, and he attacked my herbalist, and now it's my turn again. So again, going through the same stuff. I don't need to heal anybody. I'm just going to attack. All right, and then there is sound effects as well, music and sound effects. My white mage, I don't need to heal anybody, so I'm just going to attack regular. And then my Marauder, again, can't use Laceration again, but everybody's doing fine. I'll just attack. Oops, I missed. That was like when I missed. So then my Knight is going to regular attack. Doesn't need to use his skill. Oh, did okay. And so he took damage, and it shows, and again, the running log tells you what's happening. So nobody's seriously hurt right now, so I'm just going to keep doing my regular attack. I don't need to heal anybody. And my Knight doesn't have to use his thing about, oh, I missed again. So, and again, you could be looking at the stats, you could be looking at your chance of hitting. I don't need to use that Fortress. Just going to keep plugging away at him. Ooh, he missed. Oh, he cast something. What did he cast? Shield Wall cast Wall off on themselves. Shield Wall dealt 80 healing to themselves. Shield Wall walled off their team. So that may mean that I can't attack them. Wall off. Heals by 80%, 20% max health, and grants each ally untargetable for 2 turns. That means I can't target them. That's interesting. So, I mean, I can try, but it's not going to let me. Oh no, I guess it did. That's interesting. Untargetable. I don't know why. That's weird. I guess I don't understand that. Because I would have thought, because in the last game I tried, one of the characters disappeared and I couldn't target them. I mean, they were just gone. I could see them, but I couldn't attack them, and I was like, oh no, I can't attack them. So, oh, he missed again. Gee, that sucks. Ooh, he's down to 29 health, so that's not good. So he's going to do Herbal Remedy on himself. Okay, and then my White Mage is going to do Burst Heal on him as well. Okay, and then White Mage still gets to attack, apparently, which I found interesting. And then Marauder's going to attack again. Oh, he can do Laceration again. Let's do Laceration to get bleeding. Okay. Alright, and then that guy's down to 187. Now, 107, 100, you know, he's going to do Fortress now. And he's going to do it on himself. Okay. Alright. Now, see, whose turn is it? Herbalist. He's doing pretty good, so he's going to attack. Guy's down to 146. Everybody's still okay. He's going to attack. Alright, he's down to 120. He's going to attack. And then my Knight is going to attack. Okay, guy's down to 11 hit points now. He's almost dead. Everybody else is fine, so we're just going to go and attack, finish him off, and he's dead. Okay, so that was the combat. Now, the enemies lay on the cold stone floor, slowly dissolving into it until nothing remains but their items. You may as well take what you need. They won't need them anymore. Leaving with unclaimed items will yield 16 gold. So this one is for a warrior, and it is better than my... yes, absolutely, it's absolutely better than my current thing, so I'm going to take that. This is warrior. This is smooth silver, defense, restriction, level, so it's more valuable, but it doesn't change anything, so I'm not going to take that. And then cracked mithril shield, also for a warrior. I am going to take that because I'm going to a single-handed weapon, so now I'm going to, nope, not statistics. I'm going to go to inventory, and now I can change from a two-handed to this. So I'm going to go here, swapped it, and that also allows me to do my off-handed now. So that's cool. And then I could, in theory, think about destroying stuff or getting rid of them, but I'm not going to. So now I'm going to go back to the map, and then that's how this essentially plays. So once I'm here, see, I can go back. Is that correct? Yeah. Well, that just takes me back to that room. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is, don't know if from the map. I may not be able to quit, but I can from the room itself. So so I have a bunch of options here. I'm not going to pursue that. I'm just going to go back to menu. which, yeah, so I can either load my game or I can exit. I'm going to exit. So that is the Labyrinth, and again, it's a text-based game, but I will just say that I think this looks pretty cool. This looks pretty fun. Looks like there's a lot of options to it, and it seems to play perfectly fine on the Steam Deck. And you may want to program some, configure some keys if it makes the actual combat or others play quicker or more efficient, but you don't have to. It plays fine without it. So anyway, again, I hope this helps. I hope these videos help. I'm glad you found my channel. If these do help, please like, subscribe, get notifications, leave comments. I love to get comments, and let me know what you think, and ask questions or make suggestions, or give me suggestions from games you think I might like, or again, if you have a Steam Deck and you're using it and you like it, share and let us know. So anyway, again, weekend. I hope I can get some more videos up. I'm getting ready to run out the door, but I hope I can get some more videos up later. And in the meantime, have a great day, happy gaming, and I'll talk to everybody later. Bye.